Hi, moms. How are you? I hope you guys are having the best day ever. I hope you are seizing all the opportunities that today brings you. Okay. I hope you're taking a second to stop and smell the roses and enjoy your life. You guys are awesome. You guys are always doing the most, not only for yourselves, but for other people as well, and the people that depend on you and count on you. So let's see what's coming in love for you. What's going on as a collective mom life energy. So anyone that is a mom of any sort, okay? I don't care if you are a male or female. It does not matter. This is not a gender specific channel. This is all about energy of being a guide, okay? Or in those of you that are embarking on this journey of being a mother archetype, okay? I don't care if it's to your community, to your family, right? To your fur babies, or even someone else's cat down the road. If you're going there every day and you're dropping off food and you're checking on it and you're nurturing anything, you are a mother. Or you are embarking on an archetype of the mother figure in your life. This channel is entirely dedicated to you, for you, by a mom. For a mom, by a mom, whatever you want to call it. All right, enough rambling. But this is like my space as well. Because this journey is not easy, okay? This journey is not easy, and there are some days where I feel like giving up, okay? I know what that feels like. I'm battling my own thoughts. I'm battling my own demons. I'm always staying in an alignment with my higher self and doing the internal work to stay mentally, spiritually, and physically okay and good, not just for other people but for me, okay? So if you're in that energy as well, or you're feeling, the weight of the world, the responsibilities, the commitments, things that you have to do on a regular basis, on a day-to-day basis, from the time you get up to the time you lay your head on the pillow, this job never ends, okay? Who's going to remember to cook the next meal? Who's preparing to do the next job? It's not easy. And a lot of times, you're doing it by yourself. The majority of you are single moms, okay? Some of you, you're in relationships and you're trying to keep your head up and remember why you got in that relationship. You're trying to keep your families together. So we're all on different parts of our journey. But at the same time, as a collective mom life energy, we're just doing the best that we can. We really are. So let's see what's going on in the collective in general. As a mom life collective, what's going on? All right. As I tell you every day when I do these readings, you're doing a wonderful job. Okay, I'm going to tell you that every single day because you deserve your flowers while you're alive, not when you're dead. So what's going on in the collective energy is, you, like I said, 9 of Wands, you are taking on a lot. You're taking on a lot of responsibilities, and you're doing it effortlessly. Like, you have your eyes focused on the prize, the objective. Some of you are, not only are you parents, not only are you mothers, but are you only in the archetype of taking care of someone else that needs you. It's like you're also not trying to focus on all the things you have to do. You're trying to just do it, get it done, and stay in this power energy. Because with the World card, it's like you have a choice. You can either make it hard for yourself or you can make it easier for yourself. Right? You can either focus on what you can do or think about what you can't do. But we always, like we tell our children, or like we tell people in our family, like, can't is not in our vocabulary. We don't have a choice. All right. Once we embark on that nurturer, that mother archetype, we don't have a choice to decide if we want to do or don't want to get up in the morning, whether we feel up to it or not. So that's kind of like where it is here. I feel like you're carrying your wounds and your stripes really well. You are trying to, at least. You feel like it's always you against the world. It's always you against everyone else. You may feel like no one really understands what you're going through as a collective energy. No one really understands the beating that you take as a mother archetype. No one really understands how you juggle these responsibilities by yourself, right? How you barely have time for yourself. How you juggling all these things, right? If you barely have time for yourself, how do you have time for a relationship, right? How do you have time to be emotional? You don't have time to be emotional. You have to be practical, right? Practicality, being realistic has been the thing that has kept you afloat. It's been the thing that has allowed you to survive this long without breaking, right? Without breaking down, without falling down. Because, if you fall down, how are people going to get their shit done? You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, if the mother archetype crumbled, who's going to cook the food? Who's going to, people don't understand that is a journey in itself. All right? We could chase fame. We can chase all these different things. But the most overlooked role or archetype in our collective is the role of the matriarch, the mother. All right? The hat, the role that we wear, it's underrated. Everyone's signing up for every other job, but this one, it's easy, right? Everyone says it's easy. Everyone says you're supposed to do it. There's no award for that, right? Just staying home, taking care of your responsibilities, right? Wanting companionship, some help. And then it's like, you don't want to depend on your children, right? Because you're strong. 9 of Wands, you're powerful. You don't want to have to become codependent of them as they were dependent on you. You didn't ask for things to be that way. But they tend to go that way. All right? They tend to go that way. Because it's you juggling a lot of things by yourself. It's you holding the fort down for a lot of things by yourself. Can I get an archetype for this energy, please, Spirit? Like I said, they don't have no award for that. So this is blank. You are the archetype. All right. You have judge, light attributes, balancing justice and compassion, managing the fair distribution of power. And if you notice, this card sets power. So you're always trying to be fair. You're always making decisions all day, every day. The type of decisions you make on a regular, there's no degree for this. This is something that it's a balancing act. Dishing out discipline, creating structure, but also loving and being nurturing, and giving them the opportunity to showcase their power, and you being gentle enough as well to allow them to do that. And for some of you, your aspect of this journey is you know, your aspect of this journey is like you're trying to do things differently than the way your parents did it. You know, you're trying to give your kids a voice. You don't want to shut them up. You don't want to tell them, you know, do as I say, not as I do. You're trying to be a fair judge. Judging character, if even the people that you meet, you got prostitute. Like attributes accentuates the challenge of surviving without negotiating the power of your spirit, you know? If you think about this, like this card hit different. I don't know about some of y'all, but I'm gonna be transparent with you. Sometimes, just like you saw that devil card in the beginning, sometimes how difficult this journey can be providing for people that need you, providing for innocent children that need you, trying to make sure you're able to feed your dog, trying to make sure you're able to hold shit together for your family, your close-knit, you know, family. Sometimes you get to a point where you be like, you know what, the way these bills aren't playing, at some point I feel like that's a job in itself, and then I have to go do that job that doesn't value me. Go do that job when I tell them that I'm 15 minutes late because, you know, my child didn't want to rush out the window. They don't give a fuck. They don't care if your child is having a moment. They don't care if you're having a bad day or you took an extra second in your car just to fucking cry. Your boss is gonna treat you like you're the fucking prostitute. Like, you're here to make money. Forget what your overall mission is. Forget what your overall journey is as a parent. They're not as important as providing for them. So there's this underlining issue, you know. When is too much? You know, too much. And then settling for relationships with people that are emotionally unavailable, and you have to stroke their ego in order for them to, you know, they look at you when you have these responsibilities like, oh wow, you're a mother. You know what I'm saying? They're cruel, right? They treat you like they're dissecting the situation, and then you're subjecting yourself to them dissecting your children and picking apart what you love the most. That shit hurts on another level. Father of air, and they're like, I don't know, you got like how many kids? That shit hurts on a whole nother level. And at some point, as a collective, we have to start talking about it. At some point, we have to start honoring the role of being the mother archetype in our society, in humanity, like a beautiful thing, because it's looked down upon. And it's like, just be happy I'm putting a roof over your head if you decide to go with a relationship. Lord forbid you are single and you are not with your children's father because they weren't a good fit. You know what I'm saying? It was cruel, and you were losing sleep, losing hair, sick on the inside and emotionally, stability wise. Yeah. But when the house if you came and you lived in the house, nobody was happy. Okay. So some of you have made the sacrifice, that hard sacrifice, to literally, like, you know, this may not be perfect, I may not have all the answers, but I know this relationship ain't it. And sometimes this shit hit a little different. I can't believe I'm really like getting choked up about this. It's easy for people to say, suck it up, right? It's easy for people to say, just leave that person. Nobody's going to keep your kids for you. Nobody's, why you have to work and provide, nobody's going to want to watch that child. And every time you leave your child, you're subjecting them to the care of someone that may not even nurture them the way you would. Some of you have been in that situation where you yourself were a child before, and you were subjected to people that took advantage of your innocence as a child because your parent needed that relationship to put food on the table. Your mom could have needed that relationship to put food on the table. They could have needed that relationship, you know? There's so many things that has been done, you know, not just to us as mothers, but to our mothers, and the things that they did, you know, where we can look at them and be like, well, you shouldn't have stayed in that relationship because that relationship, they were mean to me and all this other stuff. And then if you think about it, the cycle repeats itself, because even that mom who didn't have a rule book is saying, I couldn't feed you, I couldn't afford daycare, I couldn't afford this, or I couldn't afford that. I had to decide. And no one's talking about it. And every single day you wake up with your guards up. How can you trust? How can you trust? And you're being asked to trust people. You're being asked to trust something new and unfamiliar to you. And that could come with its own set of consequences, right? We could talk all day about what ifs, right? What if I put my guard down and that person takes advantage? What if that cycle repeats itself? How do I sleep at night? So no, your job is not easy. Nor is wanting companionship any easier. And you know the crazy part about it is, I have heard people say, you know, once you have a child, just prepare to be alone for the rest of your life. Why is that normalized? Why is the collective, why as humanity we are normalizing this detachment to our youth? You know, like the youth, no matter if it's your child or another child, is so much apart from you that you look at that child and you say, it's not mine. You know what I'm saying? Or you look at that child and say, something's wrong with it. It's so unhumane. Or they could say, put that dog outside, or put it down. You know, it's just so unhumane on all levels. This should not be here. Places material considerations and security above self-empowerment. This is why I believe Spirit put this on my heart, because it's not easy deciding to do things differently than your parents. It's not easy deciding to walk a road that no one's documenting, that no one's talking about, that no one is shedding light on. It's just an expectation. And then when you walk around with your expectations for your relationships and other areas of your life, you're looked at like, why do you want more? Well, why shouldn't you want more? Why are you being counted out? And I think these are great questions to start with. I don't know if it's an initiative or something about just wanting. It's like they want to indirectly create so much trauma to the mother archetype and within the collective that you look at your own offspring through the judgmental eyes that are judging you. And it's a battle not to perpetuate that onto your most precious parts of you, manifested into a whole nother being. These are offsprings of you, and if you're not careful, society, media, and all these different things can paint a picture in your mind that tells you to hide that. You know what I'm saying? Or to shut up and accept what you have because you done had a kid. It's like it's so conditioned into society where it's like, oh, no matter what your partner has done, you're expected to accept them because you have kids with them. It's so culturally disdained, and it's like, where did this come from? And I feel like Spirit is saying, like, the world cycle, that needs to change in the world. That needs to be talked about in the world. You can't even breastfeed in public without it being a problem. You can't even trust. Look, you can't even trust someone to watch your children. Do y'all know what that could do to a person's psyche? To wake up every day and not be able to trust? You deserve real love. Each and every single one of you. You deserve the type of love that other people would tell you don't exist. Not just for you, but for your children. And you will have it. What's going on in love? With love for the Mom Life Collective, Spirit? What's going on in love? What's going on in love for the Mom Life Collective? The Ten of Swords. The bottom of the fucking barrel. What's going on in love? The Page of Wands. Trying to make it work with the bottom of the fucking barrel. Three of Swords. Like, I'm really out here crying real snot bucket tears right now. This is trying to have hope, trying to make something out of nothing, trying to keep forgiving, coming up with more than one way to make some shit shake with blood sucking, with scratch. Like, look at this card. What does this card make you feel? And I really try to deliver this message, hold my shit together. What does this card really make you feel? It's so self-destructive. It's like, why do I even try
Ten of Swords. Why do I keep allowing myself to be betrayed, cheated on, lied to, degraded? You know, they have their own hurt issues. I'm trying to heal them and come up with, be creative with a way, like, what does this person need from me? What does this person need from me so I can be loved by them? But this person can't even love you. They're self-medicating through you. Oh my God. I need to calm down. Hold on. Give me a second. I just don't understand why this is. I just don't understand why this has to be the narrative for the most beautiful job in the whole wide world. This is poison. This is poison. And don't get me wrong, this ain't everybody. You know what I'm saying? But doing the best that you can when it comes to love. Trying to heal and trying to grieve your own hurts and losses of your own dreams. Think about it. To love another person and to take care of your responsibilities, sometimes it comes at the price of even losing parts of yourself. Your childhood dreams, your childhood ambitions. All you can do is put them in someone else. Whether it's your children, whether it's your community, whether it's your relationship. Maybe I can make that grow. But what Spirit is showing me is that it's not within you. It's not. I don't even know if I want to post this damn video. I think it makes it a little bit easier because no one's going to watch this, right? But no one's talking about this. And it's an issue. It's an issue. Because there are good people out there that are trying to do the very best that they can. And they're trying to keep their head up and they're trying to keep the hope alive and show even their own children. I can understand why even some of you would rather stay with your broken situations and relationships. I can empathize with you, and this is where this emotion is coming from, because even though I may not be even with my children's father, I can empathize with why you would want to. This conflict between, do I stay just to show my offspring that they're not trash by me dumping their father? You know what I'm saying? Think about it. Or that partner, because that you know the type of pain that they really have within them. You know the type of hurt that the type of demons they fight, the type of addictions they have, and though it eats away at you and the ingenuity you could be putting anywhere else in the world, You love that hard that it would be self-sacrificing. It's true. Father. Talent for creating and supporting life. Positive guiding light within a tribal unit. Yeah. Many of you want to see your children's father do better. You don't want to have to get rid of them. You don't want to have to throw them away, because at some point in your life, when you had children with them, for those of you that obtained children through this storyline, every child at some point is going to ask you, where's my parent? Right? They're going to ask you. Fear of facing your own demons. Alchemist, transformation of base motives and goals into golden wisdom. Whether you like that person or not, whether you care for that child's father or not, it's one of the hardest conversations to have. You can't bash them, right? That doesn't help the child. You want to do what's best for the child. My phone is dinging. You want to see things through a higher power, bigger than you, right? You don't want to have to gossip and talk about all the shitty things that they did. But it's real, it exists, and you're not making the shit up. And Spirit is saying that they see this as an area in the collective, within the matriarch collective, the mom life collective, that is not being talked about. Okay, rebel challenges authority to affect social change. Rejects spiritual systems that do not serve inner needs. So you rebel. Unfortunately, you have to break those hearts. Unfortunately, you have to do it differently than they tell you. So many of you have been told you're supposed to stay with them. You're supposed to commit to them. You're supposed to do all this. You were conditioned. Regardless of how healthy it is for you. Regardless of how healthy it is for you. And even that broke your heart, but you had to do what was best for you. Something had to change. Okay, so you're going against the grain. You're the moms out there going against the grain, changing this. You're affecting social change right now as we speak. When you ask, what is this for? Spirit wants you to know that you are effectively affecting social change. You're challenging the narrative of what's expected of you. You're challenging the narrative of why you started this journey to begin with. You have a higher purpose. All right, you're alchemizing what started off as a base motive of you just trying to get into a healthier state of living. You just trying to get into a healthier lifestyle. You wanting more for yourself, and then you're going to use those experiences as wisdom. You've earned it, and someone out there needs your help. Someone out there needs you to show them through your life experience that there is hope. The star, there is hope at the end. That if you defy, you leave, there is more. That's what you're doing out here. When you want to know why does it matter that little old me decides to go back to my baby daddy? Why does it matter that little old me is struggling with leaving my child's father or anything of that sort? Because little old you is being charged, is being asked to rebel, to affect social change of these spiritual systems that is trying to tell you how you should live your life at the self-sacrificing detrimental extent of you and your children for the sake of unhealthy love and unhealthy love relationships. So that's what this shift is all about. Bullying highlights your tendency to intimidate others, helps you confront the inner fears that bully you. Wow. Yeah, these inner fears. Ooh, I felt that. Midas, hoarding money and emotions, obsessive fear of losing your wealth. So let's say, for example, for my moms out there, that you've acquired assets, cars, clothes, roof over your head. I know how good it can get. I was there, you know? Living a really good life. What I thought to be a really good life. Stability. As fucked up as the relationship may be, as toxic as the relationship may be, it feels good. It feels good to be able to tuck your kids into the same bed every night and know that even though you may not be safe, even though you may go to sleep with fears and worries, even though you may lay next to someone that poisons you with their words, that dishonors your body when you don't want to be dishonored, that won't give you a choice. As good as that may feel, on some level on the inside, you know, you have an idea that it ain't right. You have an idea that you want more for yourself. And it starts off like an idea, a very distant, subtle idea. You start weighing out those cons, like, well, where do I go? Who can I go to? For some of you, you've had to call the police and they'll tell you, go to a relative. Majority of them, you have to sell everything, including your children, to even go and do that. It's the truth. And sometimes staying in that situation don't feel half as bad as going to get the same shitty expression of love from your own family and friends. So your fear is going to tell you to accept the verbal abuse. Conceals deep fears behind verbal abuse or physical abuse. It's going to tell you that they love you. It's going to tell you that they're passionate. It's going to tell you those fears are going to speak to you like a subtle voice clouding your judgment. And you're going to say to yourself, but what if you do go? What if you do leave that relationship and you subject your child to worse? And then you're going to say to yourself, oh no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to put my child in that predicament. I don't want to do that. So then you stay, and you stay, and you stay, and you stay. And sometimes you'll make it to the Ten of Swords and you're like, that's it. That's enough. I can't take it no more. I'm done with that. And then you'll go a little bit deeper and a little bit deeper. Until one day, that person takes it out with someone that you love more than yourself. And usually it's your children. And the sad part about it is you even love your children more than you love yourself. And one day they'll raise their voice at your child. And you'll see that child as you. And you love that child so much more than you that so long as they were doing it to you, it wasn't so bad. So long as they were abusing you, it wasn't so bad. So long as you were abusing yourself, it wasn't so bad. So many of you are going to be going through this experience when you see this video, where your child is next. And they're going to say something to your child or do something to your child that's going to break their spirit. And you're going to have to ask yourself, is this house that I've acquired, this car, the comfort of that bed, look at that. Is that more? Is that worth more than the safety of the child that you love the most? And if you're going through that experience when you watch this video, I need you to know that I've been there. I need you to know that being homeless might sound scary, but it's so worth it. Feeling like you're at the bottom of your own barrel might sound scary. It might sound so scary with this fear. But you fight back. It's worth it. And on the other side, it's so beautiful. The quiet. Let me tell you how beautiful it is. The sound of your children laughing and having one another is so peaceful without you feeling afraid. Of your partner. No matter who it is, whether it's their father or someone that you date that does the same thing. Hold on, y'all. God's going to give you a purpose bigger than you. And when you feel like you can't push, make it through, I'll be here to confirm for you on this channel whenever you need it. I know you may not believe this, but Spirit, your ancestors, your spiritual team are always listening, and they want better for you. Even if you feel like you've been forsaken or forgotten. And when I left, I didn't know that I was doing any of this for this, but I can honestly say, like, I feel it in my spirit that I'm where I'm supposed to be. I'm doing right now what I'm supposed to be doing for now, and I'm okay with that. And it may look different 5-10 years down the line. I don't care. Anything is better than this, than being stuck in this perpetual abuse. Alright? Emotionally, spiritually, mentally, there is another life outside of that. There is another life outside of that. I'm a living, breathing testimony of that. Heard that? I'm a living, breathing testament of that. And so I just feel like Spirit wants to encourage you, give you an opportunity to love yourself better. Love yourself better. It's going to feel like a self-love journey. It's going to have to be a little, you might feel like you have to find gratitude in the small things. Whether it's just being able to sit and do nothing for a moment, but the peace that comes from it is so good. Oh my God, it's so good. It feels like heaven on earth. And 2020 I left in my own personal situation, and I was homeless with my children, and I was on couches and air beds and floors, and I am still in that transition. And sometimes it's easier to read into situations that look better than mine, but at the end of the day, no one's going to be able to tell your story. No one's going to walk your shoes better than you. In each story, though they are similar, they are unique. And someone is counting on you. Someone is waiting on you to pick yourself up and to fight for your life, fight for you, to love yourself. This light is going to be on. You need to share this with anyone in a similar situation. Encourage them. Okay? Encourage them. And I don't feel like in my spirit right now, this is even about you looking forward to new love. This is about you loving yourself. Okay? This is what this is about right now. Your spirit is saying you gotta love yourself better than this. Your ancestors are saying you gotta love yourself better than this. You have to believe that you were chosen for this path as a mother. For those of you that resonate with this. So I'm just gonna get a couple of tea leaves. These would be random messages. I can barely talk anymore myself, so Spirit, you gotta give me a break right quick. But I will be back tomorrow if you need it. It'll always be here. No matter how old you are, no matter how many years from now you watch this video, this energy will be here to remind you it's timeless readings, okay, you guys? Any messages in closing, Spirit, for all my mom life moms out there? We got the boot. Increase your efforts if you want to achieve your goals. July. You got bridge. Successfully overcoming a problem. Nest. An emotionally secure, loving family is important to you. Torch. Remember why you're doing this, okay? Spiritual development, enlightenment, awareness, and understanding. So just allow those messages to sink in for a while. For some of you, this is like right now. Okay, this is right now. An emotionally secure, loving family is important to you. Emotionally secure. Success. It's coming. Alright, you guys, I'm sending you a massive bubble of love and protection, and I will see you tomorrow with another message to add to our visual collection of spiritual guidance over here on Tarot for Moms. I love each and every single one of you, and I encourage you to love yourself first. See you tomorrow.